Susan wasn't feeling very good, and before we knew it, we were racing in our car to Bethesda North, and our life just changed from that minute.
They put me in an ambulance, actually, to take me down to Good Samaritan Hospital, which has a level 3 NICU. And got there and lasted about a week in high risk, and then my water broke. So Mia was born at 28 weeks. About her 10th day of life, she developed something called necrotizing enterocolitis, which caused her bowel to perforate and just caused a whole host of problems beyond that. And, sepsis, and wound up with 5 major surgeries. And she was at Children's a total of 7.5 months.
Only the very sick children, or the sick babies, go to Cincinnati Children's. And when the ambulance came to pick her up, we actually had her baptized, and we were petrified. It was pretty quick that we realized what a special place we were in, just from the nurses Mia had. Every night when we went home, we knew she was in the best care. You know, even when she was critically ill, we knew she was being looked after like we would look after her.
We knew she would get her medication every night. We knew she would get the best medical care, but she would also get her hug and her kiss goodnight.
She was on a ventilator for about 7 weeks, and for those 7 weeks we couldn't hold her at all. And every time before surgery, they let us hold her for a little while, which was special. And every surgery I walked her down in my arms. We went through that process 5 times. It was hard. The second was probably the hardest, because all her signs, led to us believing in the doctors that she was very, very sick and septic, and the chances weren't good she was going to pull through the surgery.
They expected actually to go in and find her entire bowel dead. They were expecting something called nec totalis. So they had prepared us for the absolute worst. So the night before that surgery, we actually had a conversation that we just wish no parent would ever have to have again.
I looked at the one resident and I said, "Is she going to make it?" And she just held my hand and gave me a hug. And I will never forget that moment.
About 3 hours later, we were actually waiting in the wrong place to get the news, and whatever it was going to be. And one of the surgeons came looking for us, which you just wouldn't expect something like that to happen. But he was literally walking the halls of Children's Hospital to give us the good news that she had pulled through, and she'd only lost a very small part of her bowel, which was, not to use a trite word, but miracle. It really, to us, we see it as a miracle. We're very thankful to have a place like Cincinnati Children's in our backyard, and we're proud of it. We talk to people all the time about our story, so I couldn't imagine living in another city, and because we would have traveled here. We've been getting some very good reports from her high-risk physician from Cincinnati Children's, saying that developmentally she's doing great, and they don't anticipate any long-term deficits. So we're waiting for her future. We know that the reason we have some of the finest physicians and support at this medical center is because of the involvement and the donations from some very, very generous people like yourselves.
Every little bit will help.